I crocheted a lot this year. I don't think there was any period of the year where I wasn't actually actively crocheting something. So I'm gonna do a little, this is what I crocheted in 2024 type of video. Also, hello! If you don't know me, my name is Rajan, aka Not Half Bad Crochet. And if you enjoy crochet stuff from vlogs, tutorials, day in the lives, whatever this kind of video is, then, you know, subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a little like, leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite crocheted piece that I made was. And you know, whilst you're here, you may as well check out some of my older videos too. Before I get into everything, I will be putting all of the pattern information and yarn information in the description if I don't say it out loud, which I most likely will. So yeah, we're just gonna get cracking. I kind of wrote up a little list. I went through my phone and just tried to do it in like chronological order as much as possible. And I crocheted 28 different things this year, which I think is actually quite a lot. Like when I was writing, I was like, damn, that was this year? That was this year? You know, I'm quite surprised at how much I've been able to crochet, especially the fact that I make wearables, and especially the fact that I'm plus size, so obviously those wearables are going to take me a little bit longer than the average person. So 28 different things I think is pretty impressive. For some of them I do have like process videos, or you can kind of see them in vlogs and stuff, which again I will link in the description. Some of them, like my summary items, are going to be in storage, so I will put up pictures. Some of them I have to hand, so I will put them on my body. That's going to be how this video is going to go, so let's get cracking. Also, wait, before I get cracking, I just kind of want to share my outfit today, which you actually cannot see because it's so sunny. Let me see how far away I can get. So I'm just wearing these like big baggy green kind of trousers, and then this sweater that I crocheted last year, I think last year. This was the first time I ever worked with superwash merino wool, and I did not know how much it would stretch out when you are washing it, and I hand washed it. I did not realize how much it would stretch out. So this was actually cropped when I made it. This was cropped, but now it's not, and that's fine. It's still fun, it's still warm, it's super cozy. Obviously little moon patchwork situation. I think it's very autumnal. It kind of fits my vibe very well, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to share. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and actually get into the video now. Okay, starting with number one, we have the Check Me Out cardigan, which was the first thing that I crocheted this year, which is pretty crazy actually, because I feel like I wear this cardigan to absolute death, and I just feel like it's been in my wardrobe forever. But I crocheted this in January. This was the first thing I finished. I'm pretty sure I finished it like maybe mid-January. I know I started it like end of December, but yeah, I think I finished it mid-January. And this, like I said, is the Check Me Out cardigan. It is my own pattern, and if you want to find the pattern, it will be in the description. But it's a v-neck checkerboard cardigan. I did this really cute colorway of this like kind of dark purple and a dark teal. They do kind of show up a little bit more, like this shows up a bit more maroon and this shows a bit more navy on camera, but it's more of a dark purple and a teal. I'm not sure why. I have these really beautiful buttons which I got from my mum. They're like these kind of little clear flowers almost. It's a really simple make as well, and honestly, yeah, I wear this all of the time. That it feels wild to me that I only finished this year. So this is crochet thing number one, and the yarn I used is just a kind of very bog standard acrylic. I believe it's the Woolcraft DK. I don't remember the colour names because I don't have the thing anymore, because it was almost a year ago that I crocheted this, but this is number one. For number two, we have the All Frills Sweater. This is my own pattern, which I did release actually very recently, because I'm very new to the whole pattern designing, or you know, pattern releasing sort of thing. I freehand a lot, but writing a pattern is very different, and I wrote a pattern for this. I had it tested, and then I had a lot of delays with the pattern testing, and then I just got really overwhelmed and I didn't address it. I had all of the feedback, you know, from my pattern testers eventually, and their pieces were amazing. They did a really good job, and I just got, yeah, super overwhelmed, and I just ignored this pattern for a very long time. But yes, the pattern is now out for the All Frills Sweater, which is this. It is a really beautiful sweater. I actually was inspired by I can't remember the character's name, but in The Conjuring, the main character, she kind of had this beautiful, I think it was like a blouse, but she had this beautiful blouse on with this like ruffled collar, very similar v-neck situation, and then the ruffly sleeves, and I was like, I want to make that. And so I did. I really love it. I think it fits me so nicely. I think it's really, looks really good on my body type as well. I love a frilly sleeve. I love a frilly sleeve. I just think they're so, I don't know, it's just like they're so dramatic and they're so vibrant, but like without doing too much, you know, like this is a statement piece without it being too much, if that makes any sense. But it's a really, really easy pattern as well. It's got a beautiful plush stitch and obviously a ruffled frilly neckline and then the ruffly sleeves. I think this is so, so nice. And this yarn, oh, it's one of my favorites. So this is the Sirdar jewel spun yarn in Midnight Fjord, one of my favorite colorways that I've ever worked with. And this was so fun to make because seeing the colors kind of come to life, oh, it's just so fun. It's so fun. So all Frills Sweater, number 2, pattern is below if you want it. And then for number 3, we have this really cute dark green patchwork sweater. It is a African flower granny square, and this was just a free-handed cardigan. Very simple make, very, very easy. And the yarn, oh my god, I absolutely love this yarn. And every time I wear this in a video or on a post, I get asked about this yarn. So for once and for all, this is the Sirdar jewel spun yarn in Evening Jade, okay? Because I have answered that question 50 bajillion times, and if you know me, you know I hate repeating myself. Sirdar jewel spun yarn, Evening Jade, okay? It's a, I mean, I don't blame you guys because it is a beautiful yarn. It's a mixture of kind of like greens and purples in like all these different shades. There's like a hint of blue in there as well. It is so beautiful, and I think an African flower granny square looks stunning in a variegated yarn. I mean, it looks stunning anyway, whether you change colors, whether you do it all one solid color, whether you use a variegated yarn. It's a beautiful square. It's one of my favorite crochet squares, and yeah, I just really wanted to make it into a cardigan. I've got these cute copper buttons, which are again from my mum, and I just made a cardigan. Here's the back, because the back is really nice because you can obviously see all of the colors, but this is the back. So cute, so fun. And again, I can't believe that this is the 3rd thing that I ever crocheted this year, because I have worn this to death. It has become a staple in my wardrobe, so it just feels like I've had it for ages, you know. But this is number 3. It's cute. Okay, and according to my list, the next 3 things, I believe, 1, 2, 3, yeah, the next 3 things are currently in storage because they're more like summary items. So I feel like maybe I was hitting around like March, April, because I actually started crocheting like my summer stuff quite early this year because I assumed that we would have summer quite early in like May time, end of May, June. But it didn't get warm in England till like, I want to say like July. I feel like even July was probably a little bit chilly for summer. But the first kind of summery thing I made was the wave hello top. Okay, it's just a car. I was like, because so on a Thursday I have leaf blowers who come, I think it's the leaf blowers. Is it a car? But these leaf blowers come to where I live, like outside, and they just leaf blow for fucking hours, and it drives me insane because it's deafening. It's actually deafening. Anyway, I got frightened. I thought it was a leaf blower. It's not. Anyway, moving on. What number was I at? Number 5 is the wave hello top, which is my very own pattern. It's a beautiful, I'll put up, let me move to the side so I can put up some pictures or footage or something, but it's a beautiful kind of wavy top. It's like a faux halter neck because I saw a, why was I inspired? Oh yes, I was watching Schitt's Creek and Alexis was wearing a dress which was kind of, it was almost like a halter neck where it kind of goes like this and then had the straps, but it didn't go around her neck. It kind of was a full back at the back, and then it had these ruffled edges. So I was like, I want to make that, and I had some beautiful cotton yarn that I wanted to use, so I just did like a wavy pattern for it, and it came out really nice. It came out really, really good. And yeah, like I said, I have a pattern for it which will be linked below, and my pattern testers were amazing on this pattern test. They did such a great job, such fun color palettes, and yeah, it's one of my favorite tops. I wore it all of the time in the summer because it was just one of those tops that you could just throw on. And for me, I'm a big titty girl, okay? I can't wear halter necks because they hurt my neck, they hurt my back. I've tried so many different variations of a halter neck, and it's such a shame because I think I look really good in them. So the wave hello top is actually the perfect top if you're also a big titty bitch, or maybe you just don't like the way the halter necks feel, because it's like a faux halter neck. It gives you that kind of look of a halter neck but without the back pain, you know. So that was number 5. For number 6, I crocheted my first ever dress of the year. Not ever, but of the year. It was my first dress, and this was a pattern by, what is their name? What is this designer's name? Oh my god, I've forgotten. I have forgotten their name. I can't remember the name. I remember it's called the Estelle dress. I will put obviously the link to the designer and in the description, because I cannot remember their name. But this was a beautiful dress. This was the first time I had ever followed a written pattern. It probably wasn't the simplest of makes for me to have decided to choose this as my first written pattern, but hey, that was the window. Sorry about that. That's what I chose to do. That's what I chose to do. And it was a bit difficult at times. I think there were some parts of it that were a bit confusing to me. I also think if you are a busty bitch or a plus size bitch, you may struggle with this pattern, because there were no plus size pattern testers there. As far as I can see on the highlights on this designer's page, no other plus size people have made it and shared pictures or whatever of it. And in the pattern there were parts, like for example, I distinctly remember there was a part when you're doing the sleeves where she kind of says like, okay, now you've reached the size, do this part. And I was like, well, I haven't reached the size, so what do I do now? And it wasn't really very clear what to do if you were larger and if you kind of exceeded past that point, if you were creating a larger size. So I did have to do a little bit of guesswork. I feel like this is definitely more of an intermediate pattern. So if you are a beginner, or maybe you're not used to kind of adjusting things to your body size or your body type, I would not get this pattern. That's not to say it's not a good pattern. Lovely pattern, lovely dress. Obviously I made it, you know, it was successful in the instructions it gave. But if you are not confident in your ability to kind of change things on the fly, you know, and you need a very step-by-step instructions of every single thing you're doing, I don't think this pattern's going to be for you. But if you're intermediate and you're confident, you should get this pattern because it's lovely, it's beautiful. Although this designer is not very inclusive, may I just say, because there was no plus size pattern testers or any kind of, you know, sharing of plus size people. They didn't share mine when I shared it, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. So that was the dress. That was the orange dress, the Estelle dress. And then I made a purple top with these like cute little heart granny squares. And honestly, I made, this was a free-handed thing. I don't have a pattern for it. If you want a pattern, let me know and I could totally write it. But this was a free-handed top because I had a bunch of like small amounts of different colored cotton yarn, and obviously I wanted to make like a summer top with it. It was like really small amounts, so I kind of used the small amounts of a lot of the cotton that I had for the center of the hearts, and then I did the rest of it in this purple. And I kind of wanted like a baby doll sort of situation, not a super baby doll, but I wanted like a little ruffly kind of vibe, and I think I achieved that. You know, I again wore this top a lot during the summer. It was a really fun top to just throw on and to like instantly make my outfit a little bit more funky and a little bit more fun. But I really enjoyed this top. It's a super simple make, super easy make. Ironically, not that many ends to weave in either, because I did a join as you go method with the squares, which is super easy. Made my life a lot simpler. But yeah, that was number 8, which is the purple heart top. And now we are moving on to number 9. Number 9 is this little waistcoat or vest, whatever you want to call it. This is giving very Aladdin vibes. I don't dislike that, you know, represent. But this is a little granny square vest. It's or granny stitch vest, sorry. It's a v-neck vest with these little front ties, and it's like a split situation. So at the back it is like fully split. Can you see it? Fully split at the back. It's super simple make, minimal ends to weave in. This one I freehanded, but I am very tempted to do a YouTube tutorial for it. So if you're interested, let me know. I love this. I obviously made it like for the summertime, so I could wear it kind of just like this without a kind of top under it, which I have done, and it looks super cute. Or I could wear it with like a t-shirt. I could wear it with a long sleeve top with like a roll neck or something. And I do and have worn this in the summer and like now, you know, I think I wore it like last week. But yeah, it's a super versatile piece. It is 100% cotton, and this is the Drops Paris. It's the Drops Paris yarn. So yeah, that's the waistcoat. What do you think? I really like this one because I love this brown. I just think this kind of like, you know, gold, it's like almost gold brown, and then this chocolatey brown looks so good together, but also suits me so well. I think this looks so good with my skin tone, you know. Anyway, this is number 9. Okay, I also realized I numbered the things wrong because I got some of the orders wrong. So the waistcoat slash vest was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was number 7. This is number 8. So I can't count, the allegations live on. This is the Blossom cardigan. This is probably one of my favorite pieces that I crocheted in 2024, and this was my first ever pattern that I actually released. It was such a fun make. It is a lacy floral kind of pattern. It is a super simple and easy make considering it's lace. I would say that this is like a beginner slash intermediate beginner pattern, so you need to be like a confident beginner, you know, not like this is the first time I've held a crochet hook in my hand, you know. Confident beginner, intermediate beginner. You can get really creative with your color palettes. You can obviously do a split situation, you can do it all one color. I think this is like a long duster, like a duster coat. Oh my god, that would eat. That would look so fucking good. But yeah, it's a really beautiful lacy pattern. I absolutely love this kind of like rhubarb and custard, drumstick lolly, Battenberg cake sort of vibe. There is one thing you will notice in this video is that I love yellow and pink together. So I'm just saying it now. I'm saying it now, okay? I'm just an autistic girl trying to live my life with a specific color palette. Anyway, this is the Blossom cardigan. I used a Papatya yarn. It's a cotton and acrylic blend. I don't know the name of the yarn. Obviously I crocheted it many months ago. That's all I have. I'm really sorry, but if you want the pattern for the Blossom cardigan, it'll be linked. You know where to go. Here's the back of it, so you can see the kind of split sort of vibe. So fun, so cool, so cute. But I definitely want to make another one of these. I feel like one of these in black would also just look so chic, like in a dark colorway. Oh, it would look so good. So Blossom cardigan, one of my faves. Number 9 was this really beautiful like lacy floral kind of dress that I made. It is with the drops cotton. It's a cotton, I can't fucking remember. It's a really fine cotton. What the hell is it called? Anyway, I'll put it in the description. Really fine, beautiful cotton. I absolutely love this dress. I wore it to death in the summertime. I wore it maybe about 4 or 5 times, considering we had maybe about 2 weeks of summer. I wore it a lot, okay, and in a very short space of time. Beautiful dress. I absolutely loved it. Lots of people asked me for a pattern. Sorry, I am not willing to do a pattern, because some things I crochet just for myself, you know. Some things I'm actually not willing to share, and call me a gatekeeper, I actually don't give a shit. Because this is my craft and my hobby, and sometimes I want things to be just for me, you know. Not everybody has to have the same thing, and that's okay. But if you do want to make the squares that are on this dress, it's called the In Bloom square, and I do have a tutorial for it on here on my YouTube, so you know, just scroll down. I'll put it in the description as well, but it is, I think, like my second ever video that I posted on here. So that is the lilac summer dress, I guess we're gonna call it. I loved it. The whole process was so fun as well, and I did frog it a bunch of times, but I think this was really the kind of pinnacle of like where I embraced frogging so much, and I was like, frogging is actually cool, you know. Cool girls frog, cool people frog. I did it in a certain way. I think I did the neckline a certain way, and I just wasn't feeling it, and part of me was like, no, just continue, you've done it now, you've done it now. But I was like, no, I'm making a fucking dress out of string. Like, I can take the extra however long to fix the thing that is bothering me now, when if I carry on, it's going to be all I think about, it's going to be all that I see, I'm going to be bothered by it, and I probably won't reach for it that much. So like, I really embraced frogging during this project, and I'm so glad, because it turned out like my dream dress. It fit me perfectly, fit me like a fucking glove. I look so good in it. But yeah, you know, embrace frogging, because that's something that I learned this year. It's fun. Frogging is cool, okay? Cool people frog. Okay, and number 10 is this shell t-shirt. This was a super fun project. So this yarn was actually gifted to me by the Wool Factory, and it's their own brand yarn. I really enjoyed working with this yarn, but I will say it doesn't wash particularly well. Like, when I was working with it, it was really nice and soft and smooth, but now it's kind of like quite stiff and a tiny bit squeaky. Tiny bit squeaky. Not in a bad way, because I think if I hand wash this properly it would be fine, but I just chucked it in the washing machine because it's machine washable, so why wouldn't I? But I chucked it in the washing machine, and it did come out a little bit kind of not the way I was expecting. Not bad by any means. It doesn't take away from the fact that this is a cute as shit pattern, because it's my pattern and I did a free tutorial for it, which I will link below, or you can scroll on my page because it's on here. This is the shell t-shirt. Like I said, I like yellow and pink together, so it's a yellow, white and pink combination. It's a super simple stitch as well, which you will find out when you go to the YouTube tutorial. But it has this really nice like picot border as well. Really cute little kind of accents. I made mine very cropped. I wanted like a baby t-shirt sort of vibe. I wanted it to literally just cover my boobs, but obviously you can kind of customize the measurement. You can make it long, you can make it short, you can make long sleeves, you can make it into a sweater, do whatever you like. Really cute. I wore this a lot in the summer because although it is acrylic, it is quite light, and like I said, we didn't really have a summer this year. Our summer was not summering. But yeah, I wore this a lot. I wore this on holiday as well when I was in Amsterdam, and it was super cute, really comfortable. I will say that as much as the yarn didn't perform the way that I thought it was going to perform, it is a very comfortable top and it's a very comfortable yarn. It doesn't feel scratchy, doesn't feel itchy, doesn't kind of feel any type of way on my skin, and it fits really nicely. But I think that's kind of down to me and making the thing. But yeah, this is the shell t-shirt. Okay, and then number 11 was my Megan Thee Stallion co-ord. So I did a whole vlog on this, which I'll put in the description, but if you watch the vlog you'll know that this was a process. This was a process. It was a journey. It was a roller coaster of emotions, truly. It's actually quite a funny vlog if you want some fun, you know, a funny time, something to keep you company whilst you're crocheting. I made several mistakes. I decided to crochet myself a outfit to go and see Megan Thee Stallion, who was performing in July, and I gave myself not much time. I think in between as well I was going on holiday, and I couldn't decide firstly on what I wanted to do, and then everything that I did, I either made it an incorrect size, or I didn't like the way it looked, I didn't like the way it fit, or it wasn't going kind of the vibe that I wanted, and I just kept pivoting without actually like thinking things through, you know. So if you want a quite chaotic sort of vibe, you can watch that vlog. But the final outfit turned out so good. I will put some footage up here or somewhere of the actual outfit because I look so good. I made a little skirt and I made a little top, and I look amazing. I can't lie to you. I did add some like little gems to the bottom of the top and the bottom of the skirt, which I think just like chef's kiss was like a beautiful little touch. And I wore it to the Megan Thee Stallion gig. She is amazing. If you don't know, she's like my favorite artist ever. She has been the top artist on my Spotify Wrapped for the past like 5 years, maybe even 6, but she will remain #1. I love her. I think she's a cool person. I love her vibe. I love her music. I just love her. I think she's great. That was number 11. Number 12 was the Star Top by Mrs. Moon in Heaven. This was a great scrappy buster sort of project. I had a lot of orange yarn left over from my orange dress, the Estelle dress that I made earlier in the year, and I struggle to pair orange, especially that shade of orange, with other colours because I'm a very like bright coloured person, and in the dress I obviously did orange and yellow, but I don't think that orange goes with that many colours like in my head. Even though I will see somebody wearing like something that's orange and blue or orange and green, I'm like, that looks cool, but for some reason when I put the two colours together, I put orange with something else, I'm like, doesn't look right. So this was really my exposure therapy, I guess, to putting orange with other colours that I wouldn't usually put them with. So I used a bunch of like my leftover like colourful yarn that I had lying around. It was a super simple make. Mrs. Moon in Heaven, Jade's tutorial on YouTube was super simple, really easy to follow, and it's such a quick project. I didn't actually wear it this year because I think I made it towards the end of the summer, and like I said, we didn't really have a summer, so then it just got cold, you know, so I actually haven't worn it. I don't even think I've woven in the end, if I'm being honest. But the only difference is that, like I said, I don't fuck with halter necks because they hurt my neck and my back, so I did add some straps, which I'm not sure how I feel about, if I'm being honest. Like, the straps look okay, but I'm like, realistically, am I gonna wear this with the straps, you know? Anyway, I'll decide when summer comes around again, because it is a really cool top. I just don't like halter necks because I got big tits and they hurt me. That was number 12. Number 12. Let's go. And then we have the Lacy Heart top. This is number 13. So this is my own pattern. I did a YouTube tutorial for it. I will put it in the description, or you can just scroll down my page. This is obviously a Lacy Heart patterned top, as you can see. Very simple make. It's just like, I think it's like 3 or 4 rows repeat, so it's not too bad. I would say, again, this is like a intermediate beginner or like a confident beginner sort of tutorial. And as well, like, I show you everything, so if you're okay with like visual directions, you know, I think you'll be fine. Like, I show you how to do every single thing, including measuring your body. I love this. I was actually wearing this the other day over a like long sleeve stripy top, so you can absolutely wear this in the summer and in the winter. It's a very versatile piece. But I really feel like I fell in love with lace, like crochet lace, this year, and I think I realized like how simple it is to do crochet lace. Like, obviously they look super complex, and like, don't get me wrong, they're complex to a degree, but the complexity is doable, you know. And I don't really know where I kind of fit on the kind of what's it called, like the scale of difficulty of crochet. I would maybe say I'm now at a point where I'm advanced. I don't know, it feels advanced, but it's not. And so I think I really fell in love with crochet lace, because I was like, oh, it's actually quite simple. It's actually not that difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a process and it has complexities to it, but it's completely achievable. I saw crochet lace as something like, whoa, no way, I could never crochet lace because it's so far out of my skill set. But I actually don't think it is, you know. I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, it's simple, you know, especially with this, where I show you visually, you know, how to do everything. If you're more of a visual learner, I think this is a really great piece. This is a cotton yarn. It's the Drops, I think it's Drops Hearts You or Drops Loves You or something like that. It's that range. Beautiful color. I think this purple is like really nice and regal. And then the next thing I crocheted was this really cute like button-up shirt for my partner for his birthday. It's a mixture of African flower granny squares, this kind of like mesh granny square, and then your standard granny square, and then I have these really beautiful kind of shell buttons on it as well. I did a whole vlog process of this, so if you want to see, you know, how I did it, what I did, the yarn I used, all of that fun stuff, there is a whole vlog. This is the same brand yarn as the shell t-shirt. It is the Wool Factory Pearl Sky, I think it's called, something like that. But this one doesn't feel, you know how the other one I was saying, it kind of feels a little bit tight, a little bit squeaky sort of thing, a little bit firm. This doesn't feel like that, and I think it's maybe to do with the stitch that I use for the shell top, because obviously I'm packing in a lot of stitches in quite a small space, whereas this is a lot more loosey-goosey, you know, in that sense. But yeah, this is a really beautiful shirt. I had such a fun time crocheting this. I did the whole thing in secret. And obviously, if you've ever crocheted anything for somebody that you live with or your partner or something, it's quite hard. You know, we live together, and we obviously want to spend time with each other. We also both work from home. It was a success. It was great. It turned out really, really good. He was super surprised. He loves it. He's worn it several times. And this is crocheted item number 14. And then we have number 15, which is my second Check Me Out cardigan. Like I mentioned, this is my pattern, and I did actually kind of vlog some of the process of this in my pattern designing kind of video about releasing this cardigan. And if you're interested in the kind of process of how a designer, like, you know, releases a pattern from kind of start to finish, that's the process. I think it's quite interesting and probably quite good for non-designers to watch it, because I don't think a lot of people realize how much work and effort and time goes into designing and releasing a project, a pattern even, especially if you are pattern testing, and that pattern test is a significant amount of time, which I think all pattern tests need to be a significant amount of time in order for your testers to actually feasibly do it in that time frame. Anyway, if you want to know more about the whole process, you can go over to watch that video. Obviously I will link it in the description. And it's a lengthy process, it's a tough process, and it's a difficult one, you know, especially I think particularly with this cardigan. I had lots of people drop out. I had lots of I had maybe about 4 or 5 plus size testers who were due to make this cardigan, and they all dropped out, which was obviously very disappointing, quite upsetting on my part. But you know, life stuff happens. Some of them got in touch with me, some of them I was ghosted. So it's not always particularly fun for the designer to kind of release a pattern. It can be quite stressful in that sense, but I digress. This was the second Check Me Out cardigan that I ever made. Like I mentioned, I like yellow and pink, let's not talk about it. But this was very Mr. Blobby-esque without kind of terrifying people. I love this colour palette, and then I did run out of the yellow yarn, so I kind of added this like peach accent towards the bottom, which is totally cool because I think this looks really nice all together, and it's kind of just like, you know, ooh, accent. I also have these really cute shell buttons. Super cute. I've never seen a button like this kind of shape, and as well, if I have, they're usually vertical, so I was like, I'm gonna be fun and different and put them on horizontally. But I love this cardigan. I wear this a lot, and I can't believe that this was kind of like after the summertime. We're probably maybe in like September now when I crocheted this, but yeah, super fun little cardigan. I wear it all the time. And whilst I'm here, the next thing I crocheted, which is number 16, is a plant hanger. I crocheted it for my bestie. It's a plant hanger. I did kind of just guess on everything on this one. I guessed everything and it turned out fine. They do want more though. So I'm not sure how I'm going to recreate it because I don't know if I can remember what I did. But I crocheted a plant hanger. Okay, and my next one, which is number 17, is actually I've just washed it, so it's drying and it's wet, so I can't put it on my body, but it is my pastel version of my Zip It sweater, which you've probably seen maybe me wear in my videos if you've watched any of my other videos. And it's a pastel 3/4 zip sweater. Beautiful sweater. It is my own pattern, so if you want it, you know where to go. It's my most recent pattern release, and I absolutely love this sweater. This was my this pastel version was my second version, which I made whilst I was kind of writing the pattern, and it's a beautiful sweater. The stitch is really, really nice. It works up really easily. It's a simple like 1 row repeat, so it's not really complex or anything, and it's kind of, the stitch kind of looks like the star stitch, but it's not as difficult and it's not as much of a yarn eater, but it looks so good in a variegated yarn. It also looks really good in stripes. It looks really good in one solid color. I highly recommend this pattern if you like to kind of play around with your color palettes and stuff. It obviously has a 3/4 zip with a nice big flared collar, so you can wear it as like a roll neck and you can wear it with the flared collar out as well, so it kind of gives you like a 2-in-1 option. And obviously on the pattern I show you how to apply the zipper, because the way that I show you how to apply it, you're essentially like hiding the, like, you know, the plasticky bit of the zip, you're hiding that, so when you have the collar out, you're not seeing just like plastic zip all over the collar. So that's the Zip It sweater. It's one of my favorite pieces. I wear both of my versions a lot, so you've probably seen one variation of it. And the next one is this. This is my Halloween patchwork sweater, which I had such a fun time making. I did a whole crochet along on my TikTok, which I will link the first episode of the crochet along in the description, but I show you guys how to do everything in the crochet along. So I show you how to do a solid granny square, I show you how to do the appliques, I show you how to do a swirly granny square, I show you how to sew on the appliques, how to connect everything and adjust it to your body size, and how to do the neckline ribbing, sleeve ribbing and the bottom ribbing. And this was just such a fun piece. I have wanted to do a Halloween sweater for as soon as I started crocheting. When I started crocheting I was like, Halloween sweater would look so fucking cool, and especially this sort of vibe. I absolutely love it. It's a really easy make. You can make it obviously completely customizable. You can do all of the appliques, none of the appliques, you can do whatever the hell you want in any color palette. I chose to do this kind of like dark teal, this dark purple, which are both from my Check Me Out cardigan because I had some yarn left over, and then this kind of brighter blue, and then this brighter purple, which I think just goes so well together. Like, I think this combo of 4 colors just looks so good. So let me show you the kind of appliques. So we have a pumpkin here, which, let me get into the right angle. This is a pumpkin. We have a cat on a moon, which is one of my favorites. We have obviously the swirly square. We have a witch's hat. We have an eyeball, this creepy little eyeball. We have a little mushroom or toadstool. We have this spider, which I think is actually one of my favorites. So you can probably tell which of my favorites because they're all kind of like in the middle, in the center. And then we have this cauldron, which is so fun, so fun. We have this autumnal leaf. We have this bat, which again is one of my favorites. just kind of like a miscellaneous mixture of colors there. We have this little ghosty, and if you know me, you know that I am not very good at doing faces because I don't know, I'm not very good at doing faces, so he looks a little bit fucked up, but he's fine. We have this skull, we have these little stars which you can kind of mix and match with any of the other appliques, and I think that's all of them. And then I just kind of like repeated them. This is what the back looks like. Can you see? This is the back. I just repeated them and then obviously repeated some of them for the squares, but I think I did less appliques on the squares because at that point I just couldn't be bothered, if I'm being honest. But yeah, this is the Halloween patchwork sweater of my dreams. I'm really pleased that I was able to make this, and I actually ended up finishing it like a week or so before Halloween, so I had kind of like a good solid week of being able to wear it in October and on Halloween as well, which is so fun. Halloween sweater number 18 crochet along is available on my TikTok, which is linked below if you want it. God, the car just blinded me. This is number, please calm down, this is number 19, and you may have seen me crocheting this or wearing this in some of my previous vlogs because I did kind of vlog a little bit of the process in some of my like day in the life sort of things. But this top fits me so well. You know when you just make something you're like, ah, I look fucking good. Okay, look at the fit. I'm sorry, this fit stunning. Anyway, this top was a kind of like Damson Madder inspired type of top, you know, with the whole ruching situation, the elasticated sheared sort of look. I really like that, but I was like, I want to crochet my own version, and so I basically created this like ribbing for under my bust. I did obviously my bust, and then I had this really nice mohair style wool. It's kind of looks like a weird Brillo pad, you know. It's got flecks of like purple and blue and some like grey tones in there, and I feel like this colour with this yarn just looks so good. I think these are like very neutral, cool tones. I don't usually wear this kind of colour at all. This yarn I actually got from a charity shop for I think like £5 for maybe about 10-50 gram skeins, and it's a merino wool. So as soon as I saw it in the charity shop I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that, even though I don't know what to make with it. And I've had it for a while, so it felt quite nice to be able to like finally put it to good use, and I've finished it all as well. Like I worked through that, you know. So I think it turned out really good. This stitch is so fun. It is a free-handed piece, and I haven't made a pattern or a tutorial for it. Yeah, this was a really fun piece. I have worn this several times. Obviously it is short sleeve, so I'm now kind of veering away from wearing it because it's actually very chilly, even though the sun is beaming into my eyeballs. But yeah, it's actually quite cold now, so I probably won't wear this until maybe like March time next year, until it kind of gets a bit more springy, you know, in the winter sort of leaves. But I really love this top. I had such a fun time making it, and I feel like it just suits me really well, that I'm kind of like, oh, I can wear cool toned colors and implement them easily into my wardrobe. Okay, and now we're moving on to number 20, and this is actually my mum's Christmas gift, which of course I'm going to include because it took me fucking ages. So if you've seen my Christmas gift video, why not? Why do you hate me? Anyway, I will put that in the description, but you should totally watch it because it's super fun, and I obviously share a bit more of the process of me crocheting this. But this is a shawl that I made for my mum. It's a beautiful colour. It's got like little flecks of sparkle in there. I had a really good time making this. It just took me so bloody long, you know. Obviously it's a shawl, so it's basically like making a blanket, you know. And my mum is a very cold person. She just gets cold all of the time, and she doesn't wear kind of like triangular shawls. I haven't woven any ends, okay, shut up. She doesn't wear triangular shawls. If you've ever seen an Indian lady wear a shawl, it's basically exactly like this. And I'm not saying that's exclusive to only Indian ladies, but it is a very Indian lady thing to do. Yeah, I think it's really cute. And it's actually, I made it like the perfect size because I wanted to kind of cover her torso, because she's shorter than me. I wanted to cover her torso, cover like most of her arms, and then she can really kind of like whip it over. Which I actually think this is so cute. Maybe I'll make myself one. Maybe I'll become a shawl person. And then I crocheted myself my very first bag. This is the bag. I did a whole vlog process because this used to be a sweater. Can you believe? Can you believe I crocheted this yarn into a sweater and then I hated it and then I crocheted it into a bag? So if you want to see the whole process, how I did it, all of that fun stuff, it is on the vlog. I will link it in the description. I added a strap to it, and so I can have it as like a little crossbody. I can obviously adjust the length of it, you know. I can also wear it as a shoulder bag, which is quite fun. So if I shorten the strap fully, I can wear it as a little shoulder bag, and it's so cute, and I've worn it several times already. And also, whilst I'm here, I crocheted my partner a beanie. This was like a revamp of the first ever thing that I crocheted. I do a whole vlog on it as well if you want to see the process, see how I did it, all of that fun stuff. And I also made him a pair of mittens in the same yarn, but not just any mittens. These are like those convertible mittens. So mitten, you know, and then I'm a genius, okay? I was really impressed with myself making these because I didn't know what they were called. I didn't find a pattern. I just guessed. And it worked out really good, and that's something I made. So these were part of my partner's Christmas gift, but I actually gave them to him earlier because we were going on holiday to Prague, and I was like, it's gonna be cold and you're probably gonna need these things, you know, and I didn't want him to like buy them. So I was like, here you go. Okay, and this is number 23. We are kind of approaching, like, you know, now time in terms of the timeline of the things I've crocheted. So this is the OK sweater, or the Uzma Kappa sweater, which is from Monsters University. It is my first ever tapestry crochet project, and I think it went swimmingly. I think it went so well. I did do like a whole vlog process again on this entire sweater, how I did it, all of that fun stuff. I actually vlogged quite a lot this year. I was like, I have barely done any vlogs, but I've vlogged a lot of the processes of a lot of these pieces, you know, quite a few of them. But anyway, if you want to see more about it, you can check out that video. You obviously know where to go. It will be in the description, or you can scroll through my page. This was a really fun project. I had a really great time making this sweater because I love Disney. Sorry, but I love Disney, and I think it's turned out so good. I did block it after I posted my video, so it has kind of relaxed and loosened up just the tiniest bit, and I feel like it's just a bit more flowy, you know. But this is number 23. Number 23, we got a 2319. And then I made some accessories for my holiday to Prague. Again, I have a vlog which I will link in the description if you want to see more information about how I did it. But I made this really cute beanie. I made like a matching cowl. I made some leg warmers, which can double up as arm warmers. And then I made this super cute balaclava out of this jewel spun yarn from Sirdar. Super cute, absolutely love it. I wore this so much on my holiday to Prague, and it was so cozy and so warm and snuggly. I would highly recommend making a balaclava if you live somewhere cold. But those are, I'm kind of putting them all together as number 24. And then the final thing that I crocheted this year is this sweater that I made for my sister. If you have seen my Christmas crochet gift vlog, it does feature on there. It is a Christmas gift for my sister, and it has just come off of the blocking mat, so the ends are not weaved in. But this has turned out so beautiful, and I do have a pattern for this which I will link in the description. But this is such a fun sweater. I absolutely love it. It's called the Snuggly Bugly sweater because it's so snuggly and bugly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so perfect, so good. It blocked absolutely beautifully. I absolutely love it, and I really hope she likes it. Fingers crossed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. That is everything that I crocheted in 2024. I feel like that's probably the last thing that I would have crocheted. It's very unlikely that I'm going to finish my next project because it is a cardigan and I have like 12 days, so it's very unlikely that I'll finish it. But yeah, that's everything I crocheted in 2024. If you need any of the information, any of the vlogs, patterns, yarn info, it's going to be all in the description, okay? Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and thank you so much if you've, you know, watched any of my previous vlogs or tutorials or anything like that. I feel like it's so nice to kind of have you guys here for the year, and it's also really nice to look back on all the projects that I've made, because I've made a lot, you know, and I've vlogged a lot of the process. So I feel like I brought you along for the journey for quite a few of these pieces that I've shared with you. But if you enjoyed this video, leave me a little like, let me know what your favorite project was, if you have any of the patterns, what your thoughts were, any of the yarns, that sort of thing. Give me a little subscribe and check out some some of my recent videos, and I hope everyone has a great end to the year and a lovely kind of festive period. And I'll hopefully see you on the next video.